Right, first and foremost, want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bashim Yahushua, Bashim Kakotash. I'd like to give double honors to the apostles of Jim Master of Wolf Wow. Peace, blessings, salutations to the hopeful elect scattered across the four corners. Is tuning in, focusing on, what's going on, to be in the right spirit, being circumspect, and know what's going on. It's about to be hell of a time here in Babylon, which you see a lot of migrants of all nations coming, flooding Babylon. And what's happening is Esau pretty much doesn't want to pay you Americans, any so-called Americans anymore, and of course you niggas. And you have Jake hollering about reparations and hollering about homelessness and so to speak. So what's going to happen is they're going to allow these migrants to come over here, and they're going to fund them. This whole talk about the presidents and the minorities, well, this is the minorities they're talking about. They was never talking about you so-called Negroes, Latino, Hispanics necessarily, because what's going to happen is it's going to affect Judah on a wide scale. Benjamin, Levi, it's been a direct hatred, and it tells you that in what is it, Ezekiel the 35th chapter. It's Esau's perpetual hatred against Judah, and it says that Judah, shall be, the gates of Judah shall rise up first, because it's evident that the so-called white people, he has a disdain, hatred towards you so-called blacks here in America. Because what's going on is these migrants are going to come over here, and the jobs that you don't want to do, your pension that you claim you deserve, and that and the thing about it, Jake is, they're hollering about crumbs. Really, we're supposed to be the rulers of the earth. This is our land. This is our, going back into, matter of fact, let me get that real quick. Second, I just 6. Because, this whole time Jake is hollering about a piece of crumbs. We're supposed to rule the world. Second Ezra 6:54. And after these Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures, and of him come we all, and the people also whom thou hast chosen. And we are the chosen. The Lord, you go back into history, go into the scripture, it talks about, our forefather Abraham had, Ishmael, he had Esau, and he had Jacob, Isaac. And then he had Isaac, and then came Jacob and Esau. But out of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the chosen was Jacob, and that is our forefather. And if you want to get more history on knowing who you are, you will pick up the scriptures, the Bible, and you will read upon your history. Give me one moment. So it says, all this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sakes. As for the other people which also come of Adam, because there is 18 nations on the earth, but the Lord only chose one nation. Thou hast said that they are nothing but like unto spittle, and has likened the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel. And now, O Lord, behold, these heathen which are ever been reputed as nothing have begun to be lords over us, and to devour us. But we, thy people, whom thou hast called thy firstborn, thy only begotten, and thy fervent lover, are given into their hands. If the world now be made for our sakes, why do we not possess an inheritance with the world? How long shall this endure? Because, evidently we've been in captivity for years, generations, long time, and Esau has been able to, do all type of heinous acts, lay snares and traps on us for many generations. But again, like the scripture says, the sins of Babylon shall reach to the heavens. Let me get that real quick. And see, this what's going on. Revelation 18 and 5. I'm going to the point. For Revelation 18 and 5. And this Babylon talking about America the Great. For her sins have reached into heaven, and Yahweh have remembered her iniquities. Because our people have forgotten, forgotten their nationality, forgotten their power. Because what? Our people have, underneath the Esau, our people have become dope fiends. So they're heavily addicted. I was watching that guy, Anton Davis. He made a good point. But our people really are dope fiends to the society. And instead of waking up, and trying to kick that habit, that bad habit, and kick that urge, our people give into it. And that's why they're blind and can't see what's about to come. These migrants are going to come over here. They're going to take your place. You're going to be outcasted. You're going to go into the concentration camps. You're going to get out. You're going to get out. How you say off? You're going to get off, man. And this is why, Esau created rap music. That's why Esau created, all this foolishness and fuckery of black culture and gave us that to make us wild animals and banshees and dope fiends. So when the time come, they can act like, they can use this, the money, the dollar, as a pawn scheme, a monopoly game. Take your rights, take everything from you, and just switch it over to the New World Order, where they're trying to get complete control and power over the whole earth. But the thing about it, Esau thought he was going to bear, how you say, get away with it, because it's been a complete hatred between Esau and these other nations towards us and towards Jake, Ishmael, Ham, etc. When you go back into history, when I was looking at, Esau, Amalek, they always been close to, not somewhat close to us, but their land kind of, was always close to us. So one thing that Esau never really dealt with us. He every chance he had, he showed us his hatred towards us. Not and it was what I was reading. Basically, Egypt, Babylon. Yeah, they did had us in captivity, but I kind of forgot how it went. But I was reading in another book. But basically, it showed you how Esau, out of all captivities, and so to speak, it never when Esau, basically Esau never, only time Esau was somewhat cool with us and had to be somewhat cordial with us was when we had them underneath control. But when we didn't have them underneath control, every chance they had to afflict us, they did. Basically, that's what it's saying. That's what it was saying. So it says, how much reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her double according to her works, in the cup which she had filled with to her double. Because Esau and Babylon the Great has done a miraculous job destroying Israel, destroying the name, and lying and taking our nationality and deceiving the whole earth. How much she had glorified herself, because going back to that birthright, Esau tried to pretty much distort everything and try to make it, flip it, so he can live out his birthright and live out his queendom. But that's not going to happen, because really, it was already set. The Lord had Esau be the firstborn, but he sold his birthright, and the birthright was given to Jacob. I mean, Esau knows this, and Edom knows this. Amalek knows this. That's why out of all the nations in the world, you had Amalek and Esau that has this whole mindset of them being superior. And also you had Amalek that also knew the importance of being called, an Israelite. So it says, that's why he he made up the that thing in 1948. I forgot the name of it, but that's why he made that term so he can go back into the Middle East, because he knows, Esau knows who we are and the importance of that birthright. But the thing about it, he's ruling the world through deceit so he can live out his kingdom through his ways, and he rules with it violently. So it said, therefore shall her place come in one. She now I'll go back. So much torment sorrow give her, for she saith in her heart, I sit a queen, and I'm no widow, and she shall see no sorrow. And that's the mindset of Esau. Therefore shall her place come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall utterly be burned with fire. For strong is the Lord Yahweh who judges her. And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning. Because America is going to be nuked, and all the nations that was Confederate Israel too, meaning this so-called Negro, Latino, Spanish, Native American, they're going to lament, because, and the thing about it, they're going to go into slavery. They're going to be captives, and they're going to be our tributaries. So going back to what you see, migrants coming all over America, and it's crazy because you have these governors, and that's why it's going. And see, it's mighty funny because they're allowing a lot of governors to be so-called, black men and black women. So when these things go to shit, when the cities go to shit, they're gonna blame you Jakes, man. And the thing about it, Chicago mayor, governor, he's I believe he's a Jake, or she's a Jake. Is a couple, man. Let me see something. The governor of Chicago. I don't know if she's still in power, but I just saw another a Jake man, and his face was put out there. He's trying to make claims for the migrants, the immigrants that's coming in flooding Chicago. You had a governor, mayor. Let me see, mayor of Chicago. Let me see. Yeah, this guy right here. This guy, you can't trust a guy that look like this, man. So there you have it. That guy right here. And then okay, so that's the governor, that's the mayor, and then you have another one in New York, and I believe California, and other places where they're flooding these cities in droves. It's ugly. And the thing about it, man, when these these migrants coming over here is going to be the downfall of you Jakes here in America, and it's going to start this right here. So second Esdras the 16th chapter, will be unto thee Babylon and Asia, will be unto thee Egypt and Syria. Gird up yourself with cloths of sack and hair, beware your children, and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand. A sword is sent upon you, and who may turn it back? A fire is sent among you, and who may quench it? Because these plagues, all this flashy living, Lambos, the shit that you saw on TV, that's about to end. You know, people are getting thrown out left and right. Homelessness is rising. Rent, so-called rent, mortgage inflation is rising. Man, food is high as hell. I just went to the grocery store just to get some chili and a couple other things. That shit came out to be $125. Yeah, that should be vexed, man. I'm like, yo, I probably only got about 10, 12 things. And this place is through, man. So again, and you look at the people who's working in these grocery stores, you can clearly see that they're not they're not going to be there long. Once these migrants get set up, and Esau giving these people their little false name, John Doe, or John Little, or whatever, they're going to take your places. They're going to set up these robots. They're going to set up these self checkouts. They're going to set up the scanners. That they want to put the objects in you. And see, these migrants are going to be happy to come over here, and they're going to be happy to come here into America. And the thing about it, Esau is going to fund them. They're going to, because they're not a threat. Because only thing that they're all, how you said, let me slow down. Their main purpose was to get here because they saw opportunity here. So when they get here, they will be acceptable of getting an object in them, and they will accept, and be happy that they don't get a retirement. They will be happy that they get the smallest wages. But see, here in America, it's all about Esau staying in power and not having to pay as much. So pensions are getting cut. That's why they get another thing too. That's why Esau has took a lot of high people out of positions and put in other people and give them less. So it's a big scheme going on, a big plan and a new agenda coming on. And I'm telling you, Jakes, you so-called blacks, Hispanic, Native Americans, especially Ephraim, because you Ephraimites, you so-called Puerto Ricans, you are part of the U.S. So you're gonna feel it too, and there's no regard for you so-called Puerto Ricans neither. So may a man drive away a hungry lion in the wood, or may anyone quench in the fire and stubble when it had begun to burn? May one turn again the arrow that is shot of a strong archer. The mighty Lord sendeth the plagues, and who is he that can drive them away? A fire shall go forth from his wrath, and who is he that may quench it? And again, bad habits, our people becoming scumbags, becoming cutthroats. When these things happen, you not even knowing the basic necessities of living. Because see, a lot of, we just gonna keep it honest. The matriarchy, our mothers, our grandmothers running these households have really fucked up. They fucked up the order of a lot of things, and that's what Esau did. So these when these things happen, it's going to happen. It's going to hit hard because we all understand women are emotional. They don't fucking think, so they don't think about the future, the jeopardy of what their action done. All they do and think about is what happened at that moment. So the Lord, so it says, the mighty Lord sendeth plagues, and who is he that can drive them away? A fire shall go forth from his wrath, and who is he that may quench it? He shall cast lightnings, and who shall not fear? He shall thunder, and who shall not be afraid? The Lord shall threaten, and who shall not be utterly beaten to powder at his presence? So it says, for the earth quaketh, and the foundation thereof, the sea arises up with waves from the deep, and the waves of it are troubled, and the fishes thereof also before the Lord, and before the glory of his power. For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow, his arrows that he shooteth are sharp, and shall not miss when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world. Behold, the plagues are sent, and shall not return again until they come upon the earth. The fire is kindled, and shall not be put out till it consume the foundation of the earth. Like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer returneth not backward, even so the plagues that shall be sent upon the earth shall not return again. Woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, because again, Esau is not going to help you niggas, man. He going to tell you either get with it or fall to the wayside. The beginning of famine and great death, and that's what's going to happen. And you niggas start getting rowdy. You niggas gonna, you niggas gonna, it's gonna rise up. But hey, by that time it's gonna be too late. Esau already has a system and set. If anything, you Negroes should have kept that same spirit that y'all had in 1960s, 1970s. when you had all those when it was getting very intense in the streets of Babylon. The beginning of wars and of his powers shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? Another thing too, man. These these migrants, man, they already getting that Jake too. Because not too long ago in New York, you had some migrants beating up on the Jake. So again, man, it's going to get nasty out here. Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. And but for all these, they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges, because again, our chaos is going to be on the street. And then again, like you see, McDonald's and Wendy's selling fucking 50-cent burgers, and certain other things are getting, because you had the aid, and things are getting cheap. You never really took it into consideration, but amongst this, great evils are being set up as now. See, right now you're still getting spoiled. You still have your little dainties. They're coming out with little plans to try to talk to you, to make it seem like they're doing something for you. But in all actuality, the plans is to deceive everybody here in Babylon and pretty much drain everybody. So to fund the cash, here it is no cash, and you just had a pandemic, but they're allowing all these people to come here. Make that make sense, man. So it's a big agenda that's about to happen. For many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. So plagues are coming, bad times are coming seriously here to America. These migrants are coming over here, and again, it's not just Northern Kingdom. That's what they want you to believe, because again, the whole, again, they want you to have a disdain for Northern Kingdom as well, because they already paint them as a bad picture. Them being dope pushers, gang affiliated. But really, is all in all, is more so Moab, Ammon, Ham, and Ishmael that's coming over here, and they're gonna come over here and they're gonna take your jobs, and these other nations, they damn sure don't like you, Jakes, man. But I'm gonna go ahead and end it with that. Lord's will. Yeah, Shredder border crossers as migrants flood NYC. Now, how the hell are they getting here in NYC? NYC, you can't just come over here. Shit, man, it's hard. It's hard to if you're out of towner that live a couple states from NYC. That's hard to get there. But the damn tolls you have to pay to get there. How the hell these immigrants and migrants are coming over here flooding NYC? Because again, they've been funded. They've been allowed to. And these politicians, so-called politicians, they're going to fund them and work with them and allow them to be here. Again, they're not a threat, but you so-called American people, you're goyim, you're cattle to them. You're nobody. You're nothing to these politicians. And it's crazy that these people, and again, this video, this lesson is for the hopeful elect. And fortunately, you 2/3 so-called Negro, Latino, Hispanic, Native Americans, West Indians, you're not going to regard. You're going to get caught up in the madness as well. But with that, shalom.